Hey guys, what's going on? It's your boy Roliver Queen. Hope you guys are doing well. Hope you guys are doing good. And per usual, I am joined by my homie, my road dog, my brother, AJ. Brother, would you please introduce yourself?
Hey, how's it going, everyone? We've got a interesting top 200 breakdown tonight. Couple of predictions, past predictions from these streams have come true. Y'all not out here buying, so we're gonna talk about it a little bit before we get
Oh,
into the main list.
all right. So yeah, over the weekend we caught the news that let me just go ahead and pull it up right here. Guys, hold on. Yep. Tim Drake, Robin, and Batgirls have been canceled or quote unquote ending. Not a shocker. We've been here for the past couple months now, and we've seen how the sales have dwindled for both Tim Drake and Robin. And yeah, we it was only a matter of time. We talked about Batgirls having a slight recovery after a couple months. Last month, I think it hit 100, or finally hit 100 because it was hovering in those like in the later 100s. But yeah, looks like it recovered too little, too late. And Tim Drake Robin, from the jump, we just seen the sales just dip and dip and dip. And we'll talk about how low they dipped when we actually do the top 200. But yeah, it was only a matter of time, man. It was only a matter of time. AJ, what do you think?
Um, these are two cancellations that are not at all surprising. When Batgirls was first announced, I want to say I predicted they would get 18 issues or less. They hit 19 and an annual. So, not exact science, but pretty much, they say close only counts in horseshoes and hand grenades. I'll say it counts in comic books as well. So, yeah, we were pretty much on the money with that. Tim Drake got less than I think anybody, than Roe or myself
Yeah.
predicted. Got less than listeners predicted in the chat. Like when the it was initially announced, I said I can't even remember the exact number, but I know I after that first issue I lowered my projection to 12 issues. This is getting canceled at 10. Um, it's bad, when Ro mentioned we've seen this book drop in sales every week, which I mean every month, which that's not necessarily a rare feat for a lot of comic books, but when you start off as bad as the Tim Drake book started off numbers wise and goes down from there, it's only worse. Batgirls at least started relatively high. I think that first issue debuted at number 18. So that's it's a yes, it's a Bat book, but that's a very good debut number for let's be honest, two characters who are seen as they're two characters carrying on a mantle from a more popular character.
Mm-hmm.
Um, it was led by the two of them because Babs was in the series and was a Batgirl at times, but so for Steph and Cass to debut at 18, hey, I'm gonna give them their props. That's a good, strong debut. Problems with that first issue aside, because I remember when it came out, the timeline was not happy at all. But it showed up for the first issue, well at least. You knew there was trouble when the second issue came out and it dropped all the way to like 84 from 18.
Yeesh.
That's insane.
Yeesh. God.
Um, the Tim Drake numbers, the Tim Drake stuff looks worse in hindsight because Tim Drake already debuted very low.
Yeah, six.
But
It debuted at like 60. Number
yeah,
one.
yeah, that's a Bat affiliated character book that some I've been hearing for years how Tim Drake is the best Robin. Tim Drake is the most popular Robin. Yeah, I think we're gonna have to retire that moniker from him for a while. DC even, I remember they solicited that book as the best Robin, and clearly not. But it was someone on the timeline. I can't remember. It might have been a creator, not a big two creator, maybe an indie creator or a shop owner or someone. But they posed the question like, when this book got announced, they said, "Who is this book for?" Right?
Mm-hmm.
Because
Oh,
it,
Ryan, the dude who owns the shop. Yeah, Ryan.
yeah, okay, thank you. Yes,
Yeah.
that's um because it was basically like, hey, this isn't appealing to fan, Tim Drake's fans who bought his last series. I think that series went over 100 issues. Said, hey, it wasn't appealing to them. They said you've put the character through a major status quo change, and that change has happened not in the pages of any book that he's starring in. A lot of it happened off the screen.
Mm-hmm.
People who were invested in that Stephanie Brown Tim Drake relationship that was kind of hand waved away off panel. That I think that was a mistake. If you would have opened that first issue with that, I think maybe you could have had a strong emotional pull first issue. But that book just seemed like a bad decision from the moment the solicits hit. Not even from the time the first issue came out. It's like you're you're looking at the solicits for the book, right?
Mm-hmm.
He's first off, and I understand the Tim Drake Robin book is not why Damien's run was ended early, but Damien, I would say, probably is at the moment right now. I understand, there are still people who aren't fans of him from when he debuted in Morrison's run, but right now, I'm sorry, folks, he's the more popular character right now. He had a run that was well liked, a run that
Mm-hmm.
definitely sold much better
Yep.
than what we're seeing with Tim Drake, and a lot of people felt cheated that that run was ending, and it was seen as in favor of the Tim Drake book. That's not why it ended, but
Mm-mm.
that was what the perception was, and perception is everything.
Mm-hmm.
So you have that going on. So those folks are mad. The people who like um, Tim and Steph together, you know, especially after Bendis had written them actually pretty well. It was one of the better things that Bendis did at DC.
Mm-hmm.
So people were so you had Tim and Steph fans disappointed with that. You have your bigots and CG folk who, oh, he's by now. I'm not going to pick up the book on principle of that. So it's like who was it trying to appeal to? Because you can list group after group after group that the book turned off. Who
Yeah.
can you name that the book appealed to? Like that's the most
Twitter.
baffling part about this. What's that?
Twitter. Twitter.
No, even
I
even
think
Twitter. They
I say, and I mean, I'll just jump in right here.
yeah, go ahead.
Okay, I'm gonna keep it 100%. And I'm gonna try to watch my words here, because I know this is a very sensitive topic. Um, Listen, before this whole entire thing went down with Tim Drake, me and you have seen it, and other people have seen it as well. Like there was this big movement. I don't want to say big, but it was a loud minority of people who were putting together, panels that really didn't line
Yeah,
up with
yeah,
whatever they thought. It's like, oh, this shows that Tim Drake is by. This shows that Tim Drake is by. This, and that, and it the noise had ramped up so much. And again, this is just my assumption. What I think happened is that DC took that as, oh shit, maybe this is something people want. And
yeah.
then on top of that, you also got to realize like Tim Drake was in limbo at this point because Tim Drake left to not Tomasi's what's his name? Tynan's detective. Then he went
Hmm.
on to Bendis, which was not the best. And then that was it really. There wasn't much going on with him. So I think they seen both of those things. Well, Tim Drake is in a weird spot. We got a minority or a lot of minority people who think this is the best way the character should go. And lo and behold, Megan Fitzmartin comes in the mix. Oh, cool. Let's just put all three together and this is what they want. And boom. And I had made a video when that news dropped. I made a video and I said, you know what? If that's what y'all gonna do, that's fine. That's okay, cool. Because again, then you have the topic of, well, you got bisexual people who feel like, how this all happened. Yeah, maybe. I don't want to say maybe. There's this whole thing about, okay, well, sometimes you feel certain things, because of sexuality, whatever. It's not linear, cool, whatever. So I try to watch my words here. I said, if you want to make it bisexual, that's fine, but you got to build off of that. It can't just be that. You got to build off of it. And I don't think Megan Fitzmartin did a good job of that, because then you have her in interviews. Nice. Yeah, you have her in interviews also kind of continuing to, I won't say pander, but entertain, that side by saying, oh, maybe we'll do TimCon or whatever have you. And then
I didn't know she did that, bro.
Yeah, she pandered to them folks. Like, oh, maybe we'll do this next.
Why would you? Why, okay, that could have been maybe the one group who would have been on your side, but why would you bait them? Because even the folks who wanted Tim to be bi, right? Mm-hmm. They wanted Tim Khan, like you said, and
mm-hmm.
like the Bernard cat, like a dude who had appeared years ago and he had never been seen since until
mm-hmm.
This past year. Like, all right, like the one group that could have been on your side seemed like you're kind of stringing them along now. That's not smart.
So boom, that happens, and then all right, cool, whatever. You're already on shaky ground, and I think what the final seal was, or what the nail in the coffin was, it was the Young Justice stuff. I think that was a good chance for people to get a good feel for what Megan Fitzmartin can do. Because again, you can't really tell much with the, 2 or 3 anthology mini in a Batman book. There's not much you can tell. You don't really get to really show off your skill. And I think the Young Justice story was the first time. Okay, you know what? If she's gonna be writing Tim Drake, okay, let's see how she handles a young character. Let's see how she handles multiple young characters. Let's see what she has to say. And that right there, that burned a shit ton of people off. Like I've read almost everything Dark Crisis. Despite how I feel about the book, I've read everything Dark Crisis. I couldn't finish that one because it literally
I remember she pissed a lot of people off with that.
She pissed a lot of people off. And mind you, before this, Young Justice was also in limbo because of everything that happened with Bendis. Yeah. So now the mini comes out and it read to me like she has a gripe against the older Young Justice fans, whoever they may be. I'm not gonna try to pinpoint whoever. So then that agitates a lot of people. I can't even get through the fucking miniseries. And then now the only thing in the back of my mind is, holy shit, this person's gonna write Tim Drake. We are in trouble. So it's no surprise that when issue number 1 comes out, it's fucking 60. And typically for a Bat adjacent character, them at least in issue number 1 hovers within the top 50. It doesn't have to be like top 10, but it's at least within that top 50 percentile. It even do that. So boom. Then you got the issue of, okay, it's Rosmo. No disrespect to Rosmo. I think one of my favorite Rosmo drawn comic books was the joint he did for Metal, where you talk about how the Batman Who Laughs came into fruition. That was dope. But again, it's very stylized. But again, the art didn't fit, because at this point, if you're telling me Tim Drake, this is the best Robin, you have all this attention and hype behind him, you better pay Jorge Jimenez a buttload of money to draw that.
Somebody, if not Jorge, I'm sorry, this should have been a book with a top tier artist on. Especially we just came off of Gleb from Damian's run. Like, nah, bro, it's got to be at least that level of talent. Like,
exactly. Like, You
Like, and
had,
not to say that the artist on the Tim Drake book isn't talented,
yeah,
but it's a stylized art style, and the thing is,
yes,
stylized art styles do not work for every character. Sometimes you need a little more of a somewhat, not, I'm not gonna say photorealistic, but maybe more like a house style.
mm-hmm.
What a lot of the mainline big time titles um are putting out month to month. Like that Tim Drake stuff. Like when the previews came out for issue 1, I just said, I like, oh no,
We're in
no,
trouble.
no, 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 no.
And here's the
And
other
then,
thing
like you said,
too. I was
go
gonna
ahead, my
add
fault.
this also. It's I believe this took place in Gotham or a subsection of Gotham. I can't remember.
Yeah,
But
I
even
think they might
so,
have added a new town and got they every seem like every writer that does a bad character wants to add a new part of Gotham. I think he
yes,
was at the docks or
the
something.
Ducks. So
Yeah, but I can't remember the
again,
actual name.
you need there's a certain art style and colors that go with that. And again, Rosmo wasn't the right choice. And I don't know if I ever explained my tinfoil hat theory. What I think happened was they put out the whole thing with him, being bisexual in Batman Urban Legends, and then they realized maybe time crept upon them, and it was like, oh shit, we didn't lock in uh
Yeah, because
A tier
that one
artists.
wasn't planned. Remember, because the a lot of articles around Tim's coming out mention that, like, hey, this was something that a lot of editors didn't even know was happening until the day
Mm-hmm.
that that Urban Legends issue came out. It wasn't like something with John Kent, where it was like, uh, say what you want about Taylor, but he sat down with DC months in advance, telling them, hey,
Mm-hmm.
this is where I'm going to take this character. Like the Tim stuff was kind of sprung on people,
Exactly.
within the company. Forget about the fans. People inside the company did not know this was happening. And yeah, so I guess they had to come up with something quick, because you remember we were talking about it in the early days of this podcast, the early days of the Comics Code Authority, shameless plug, um,
Mhm.
about Tim Drake being made by. It's like, okay, cool, you made him by. Now, what is your plan from here?
Yes.
And we saw for months they did not have a play. He was in those 2 or 3 Urban Legends issues, and then that was pretty much it. He showed up a couple times in Tynan's Batman, but they didn't touch on his sexuality at all there, really. At least not that I can recall. Maybe they did. And that was pretty much what you saw of him, except I think he had a cameo appearance in the Robin Annual. And
I
until he
think
got
Tamaki
his,
also, that's it. That's it.
yes, had a little bit in what was that, her event she
Shadows of the
did
Bat.
weekly. Yes, thank you, Shadows of the
Mm-hmm.
Bat. He got, you know, and like I said, that was pretty much it until Dark Crisis with the Young Justice mini. They did not have a plan in place before the announcement came out, and then I guess now you're trying to scramble after that announcement's been made. But the way comics are, plans you make today might not be seen until 6 months, 8 months, a year from now
Mm-hmm.
down the line. So now this character is kind of floundering, and so when you do come up with something, it's something that is not maybe necessarily the most thought out. It's something that you might have put, well, not might have, we know they put it together on the fly,
Yep.
and this is what it came out to be.
And
So
I was gonna say this too. There's one more thing we forgot. They they tried to address the Stephanie stuff uh before, like literally like a couple comics before, because somebody realized, oh yeah, maybe now is a good time to address the
right,
Stephanie thing. But by
was that
then,
the
people already pissed off. Hmm?
yeah, I think, did that happen in the Pride anthology?
No, remember there was a Tim Drake Pride special.
Yes, okay, that's right.
Yeah, so there was Pride
um
that year, then there was a Tim Drake Pride special. So that's when they addressed it. But come on, bro. That's almost 2 years or maybe like a year
yeah,
between. Like, come on.
and
And
those people have been pissed off and stewing in those emotions for all that time. So of course they're not going to be receptive to, you now trying to retcon that Tim and Steph have talked about this and she's okay and she wants to be Bernard's friend and all. I'm like, all right, guys.
So it's a damn shame, man. Honestly, like I honestly feel bad because Tynan had some good plans for old boy, man. Like he talked about that before he left. He said, I got this crazy house and powers of X type story that I'm trying to do. I want to make Tim Drake the center of it. And then boom, Tynan gone. Tynan gone. And I think, and I don't know, and I feel like maybe this was one of the casualties of Tynan leaving. Because again, it was
we don't talk enough about how Tynan, chunking up the deuces pretty much disrupted a lot of the plans. I mean, Batman in general, but the Gotham office altogether, like so many characters, are kind of hanging in limbo because he threw them a curveball. Yeah. So.
Yeah.
I think they're still gonna be. I think until you get through these first couple of arcs with what Chip is doing and what he does for Dawn of DC with Batman, you might be seeing that some more limbo for I don't know, maybe at least another good 6 months.
Yeah, and I mean the good thing too is just like we did have that interview that came out last week. So Chip did tease that something big is coming to Gotham and it's going to affect all the books. So maybe for Tim Drake fans, somebody is cooking in the background and you may not have to wait as long to see Tim Drake again because we know we don't talk about this enough. There is a whole other Tim Drake story that's happening in a backup of Batman that's much better than what the ongoing has been given us. So maybe this is the setup for that, and maybe we get more of a raw, gritty Tim. Because here's the thing: two things can be true. You can be bisexual or gay as fuck, and you can still be a badass. Two things can be true. So
look at Midnighter and Apollo, man. That's the perfect example right there.
Boom. So I would like to see that balance, like because we're getting that balance in Zdarsky's backup. Like Tim, Bernard is still there. You still see them cuddling up, do their thing. But what else is Tim doing? He's batting niggas' heads in, trying to find Bruce. So I think we need more of that. Like, bro, it's fine that he's bisexual. That's great. But okay, but let's just add some more to that. So it sucks. But hey, I think DC does love Tim, and I think maybe there's somebody else in the office that loves Tim. So I hope there's something good that's going to spin out of this. It doesn't have to be all negative. So this is a learning lesson for DC. This is a learning lesson. You tried it. You this is what happens when you listen to Twitter, and you don't have somebody who can back up a big change like that, and boom, Batgirls. Listen, I was for this until I seen just how the Stephanie Cass fans were being nasty, to Taylor and a lot of people online. So that's why I was just, what? No disrespect to the creative team, but fuck this book because you guys have just soured me completely. But the thing is too, I'm also kind of confused because I thought at first this was a mini series, but I think somewhere down the line, maybe it was always an ongoing, and I read that incorrectly. But I thought it was a mini series that somehow, after the first couple of issues, they decided, okay, let's make this an ongoing. Because I thought it was going to be like 12 issues or whatever, but maybe they was like, hey, people want it.
I think that first issue, not that first announcement before the first issue. I think they never said anything about an ongoing. They just said series, and that's usually they didn't give a number, but a lot of times that's the context clue to look for a new series for this character. Okay, so we're talking 6, 10, maybe 12 issues. And then that first issue came out, and DC didn't do like they've been doing for the past couple of years with their miniseries, it's like one of 8, one of 6, one of 10,
Mm,
or whatever. So they didn't do that. So I don't know. Maybe internally they upped it to a ongoing and just didn't tell the reader base. I think I think after that first after the first issue had a really good debut. Like I said, 18. That's a good number for a Bat Family book. That's a great number for anybody not connected to Batman or the Bat
mm-hmm,
Family. So 18, that's a good number. That's past solid. That's just straight up good. However, when you have your follow up issue, your issue number 2, and you drop all the way down to 84, I'm guaranteeing you that's sending off alarm bells
mm-hmm,
inside the Gotham office. Um, so like I said, you had that drop the next month. I can go back and look through the numbers later, but they were dropping month after month after month. By the time, I guess, probably like issue 5, they were in the maybe like 130s, 140s,
mm-hmm,
and it just kept getting lower and lower. And now when the annual came out, they seemed to hit their stride a bit more,
mm-hmm,
and things started to improve. And we've heard the complaints about that book. A lot of see the funny thing is, right, how is we talk about Twitter and folks complaining about this book. I'm sorry, guys. The premise of this book, what this book was exactly what y'all said y'all wanted
mm-hmm,
for a year, 2 years leading up to the book. Oh, we want Steph and Cass to be Batgirls, and Barbara to be a mentor in an Oracle role, which she was for most of the book. She did play the Oracle role. They had her suit up at times, and I guess that kind of rubbed some people the wrong way. Um, a lot of people just don't like the fact that Barbara is Batgirl again. Whatever, I've said my piece on that. I'm not getting into that with anybody at this point in time. But guys, Barbara Gordon is the most popular character to ever have the Batgirl mantle. I'm sorry, it is what it is. DC's not in this day and age. DC is not going to put her in a book and not have her suit up
mm-hmm.
in some way, shape, or form, and especially in a book called Batgirls.
Yep.
If she's a side character in a book, maybe hey, in a side character in a book not focused on Batgirl or Batgirls, yeah, maybe she'll stick to the Oracle role more so, like she did in Joker. Even
Mm-hmm,
though it was a couple times she wasn't in the suit, but she got down and dirty a couple times
mm-hmm,
in that book. So it is what it is. I understand. The cast fans, they wanted her to have some shine. They wanted her back in the role. You got that, and a lot more than what you have gotten over the past
mm-hmm.
decade plus. Um, but the thing is, and look, I understand. I read that first issue. A lot of the problems, that the timeline complained about, yeah, they were there. Everybody in that book was written too young. Cass and
Yeah. Did
Steph,
she de-age them?
yeah, like Cass and Steph. I think that they were talking. They thought they should be like mid-teens to late teens, and I'm like, nah, that's not gonna work.
Uh-uh.
Um, Barbara is, narratively, she's supposed to be like late 20s to right at 30. I think that last run, Margaret Scott and then Castellucci, I think they had Barbara at around 27, 28. Um, the writers of this book said they figured Bab was around, early 20s, like 24 at the latest. I'm like, nah, that's not what these characters are. So the characterizations were off for most of these characters for about the first arc of the book, which makes sense because by the time we're getting the book, yeah, they've probably written 5, 6 issues on her.
Yeah.
So you came out the gate rough there. like I said, it's the first issue was great, but you started seeing the first issue's debut numbers were great, I should say. But you started seeing issues with the book, fairly quickly. Um, Steph is Steph was probably the character who was written the best in the book.
Mm-hmm.
But even that was off a little bit. Cass, like I still don't like it, and this isn't just a Batgirl's problem. This is a Cass in general. And wherever she appears right now, a lot of people are writing her a little too chatty. I understand,
She's
they were
not
gonna
too
say, "Oh,
chatty.
she," and is not as much as like saying, when where was it? She was showing up in Tynan's run and stuff like that. But it's like a little too much for me. It was better here, but just a little too much. You've got, you know, pretty much all of them seemed incompetent at times. Um, I'm sorry, and this isn't just once again not just a Batgirls things. Barbara shouldn't be getting out hacked by anybody. I'm sorry. She shouldn't. You got folks breaking into her software and stuff. We're long past those days. I understand she hasn't been Oracle full time in a long time, but those aren't skills she's gonna lose. Like, um, no, nobody should be able to see her behind a computer. That's just what it is. And then I guess Steph, I think they were trying to set up a new relationship with her because of who the Tim stuff they broke. They broke them up. So I guess they got to find someone for Stephanie to see. I don't know. That's probably not going to go anywhere now because, like we said, the book is
Yeah.
canceled. So it's just a lot of. Uh, I can't say that this was a case of who asked for this book because this book we saw people asking for it, but once they got what they were asking for, they turned on it pretty quick. The
Yeah.
turn was mostly justified, so I'm not going to blame folks too much there. But it's just like right when that creative team or it seemed to be kind of turning it around a bit.
It's too late.
We got yeah, exactly, and we had said that the numbers had fallen to a point where it wasn't sustainable. I would, and Marvel and DC, they'll never put this information out there, but I would love to see like what was the profitability floor for this book and when did it fall below it. Tim Drake, I'm not convinced Tim Drake was ever a profitable book because you're
Yeah.
canceling this at 10 issues, and like this is the big sign for me, right? With Tim Drake.
Mm-hmm.
Tim Drake didn't even get his first trade out. That trade doesn't come out till like
Yeah.
September, right? And they were like, "Nah, we're done with this. We're not going to keep throwing money at this character right now."
Yeah.
So that was like the big sign for me.
And
Um,
bro, you know what I knew when Tim Drake was probably in trouble. I
what's
already
that?
kind of the gear started turning. Once we saw what happened to Aquaman, I was like, "Hey, bro,
Yeah.
there's no way, there's no fucking way DC is gonna let a
Hmm.
book hover that low for
Yeah.
that long because that's
And
not a good
and Tim Drake
sign."
had worse numbers than the Aquaman book at points. So
So yeah,
yeah,
I mean, they had to do what they had to do. And as for Batgirls, I think it also didn't help that Cloonan and Conrad were also doing Wonder Woman, and that book
yeah,
hasn't been doing well also. So because a lot
I,
of it too is creative teams too. It's just like,
yeah,
yes, I do. I always say sometimes there's creative teams that do well on one thing and then they might not do well on the other and vice versa. But I think
hmm,
you also got to remember too, Trial of the Amazons, which was also written or co-written by them, that wasn't hot also.
yeah.
So a
And then
lot of people. Mm-hmm.
I'm just gonna say, as far as Cloonan and Conrad, it seems like DC might be just moving away from them in general.
Yeah.
Conrad, he says he does have a project with DC coming, but I don't know how long term that's going to be. Cloonan, yeah, that's the other thing. They're not. she's not on whatever this project is with him, so that's kind of like,
Mm-hmm.
hey, that's a warning sign. And then she doesn't have any DC work lined up, at least not announced lately. I know they're going to be doing an XO Man of War book, and I think they said she's going to focus on some indie stuff. So
Yeah.
you know that their time at DC might be coming to a close. Which I can't say it's not justified if it is happening. You
Yeah.
know,
And yeah.
Trial of the Amazons was supposed to be the big Wonder Woman event. It was her first event in 15 years to focus on her, and it was bad. Um, that Wonder Woman book after their first arc was really good.
Fucking gold.
Yeah, like I'm not gonna take that from them. That was a really good first arc. After that, it fell off a cliff. Batgirl's like I said, debut numbers good, but
Yeah.
pretty early. Um, Pretty early on, we saw that hey, this isn't going to keep keep maintaining those highs for very long, and which it didn't. So, like I said, I would love to see the numbers of when Batgirls went from being a profitable book to being an unprofitable book because they had released that first trade. I want to say in like November, maybe December.
Mm-hmm.
And then, like I said, if Tim Drake being canceled right before, I mean, not right before, but before he even gets a trade out, that's a sign where it's like, hey, we're not even going to try to have a trade save this book. With Batgirls, the release of that second trade happened way quicker than DC does
Mm-hmm.
their other trades. Like, I think it was available late February, March. The first one had just come out, I want to say October, no, late October, early November. So, you know, that should have been a warning sign then, like, hey, they're trying to pump numbers up on this some way, somehow. Because normally DC waits at least like 6 months between
Yeah.
trades.
Mm-hmm.
And that one, I don't even think it might have made three. So it's
Yeah.
there were signs there for both of these books.
Yeah.
I'll
There
say
were
that.
signs. And to wrap this up, listen, I I always say this, bro. These characters can work, bro. These legacy characters can work. I do not subscribe to that whole bullshit legacy character discourse. I don't, bro. They can work. Jace Fox
Right.
Batman can work. Dumb two Stephen Cass's Batgirls can work. Tim Drake
Mm-hmm.
Robin can work. But you gotta have good creative teams on them. You can't just be giving them to C and D list tier artists and then
Yep.
writers, and then expect things to go right. Like, come on, bro. You gotta come in with these books with a good solid plan, a good premise, and you execute accordingly. Like, again, I hate this because this is like what the second or third book recently that's a legacy title, bro. It's canceled. It puts a very bad stink on legacy characters. Like, I defend
Mm-hmm.
legacy characters like I defend regular characters, but it can work. But when you do dumb shit like this, or you just put, you know, bad creative teams on these books,
Yeah.
it's not good. And then it feeds into this whole bullshit argument. Oh, you know, mantle swaps or this, man. No, bro, they fine. It's just you gotta put a good writer on them. Like, there's a reason why, you know, Nightwing doesn't. There's a reason why, Wally West doesn't get as much flack as, a couple of the other, mantle swap characters, because, you know
Right.
they put solid creative teams behind them. So any of these arguments can be brushed away, but it sucks, man. Like, Batgirl should succeed. Tim Drake Robin, bisexual or not, should fucking succeed. But
Mm-hmm.
it's just they're not being careful about who they put on these teams. So, to wrap this up, I am happy though, going into Dawn of DC, we're seeing a little bit of a switch up. We're getting a black creative that we don't really see or know much of to do Cyborg. We're getting another black creative that hasn't really done much in comics to do Steel. So we're putting fresh blood on these titles. I don't know what Homegirl did, who's doing Hot Girl, but that's a fresh face. So hopefully that'll shake things up a little bit, and we can start to see the energy turn with these legacy characters.
Yeah, absolutely. You mentioned not knowing what Homegirl or Hawk Girl did. She did a YA book for DC recently. Not something that I checked out, but I think it was pretty well received. So I guess they decided to move her over to the comic side of things. So hopefully that works out for her.
Yeah.
And because Hawk Girl, she's a dope character that we haven't seen much of
Mm-hmm.
in a while. And definitely haven't seen one in her own book in
Yep.
years. So this is a good testing ground for her, but also a lot of these other characters who don't typically get the shine of their own books. But we also say, y'all got to come out and support.
Yep.
Sometimes folks say, "Oh, hey man, I'm not going to support a bad book." And look, yes, I understand that. But if it's a character that and this can be for Hulk Girl, this can be for Batgirl, this can be for Tim Drake, it can be anybody. If it's a character that you like, and one of your not just like one of your favorite characters, character you've been asking DC to give some shine to, hey man, sometimes you got to buy a bad book.
Yep.
I'm sorry, yeah, like it is what it is. Um, not that she's had a solo in a while, but Black Canary, well, that's my favorite female character at DC. Bro, I bought that 2015 run, that her last solo run. That book was ass, bro. But she consistently shows up in other places.
Yep.
She was in, Green Arrow just had a, 50, not just, but it's been about 4 years, but, 52 issue run, and she was in most of them. Justice League, she got shine in Bendis's league. Deathstroke Inc., she was in
Yep.
that. You know, Sometimes you have to support your favorites even when they aren't in the most engaging material. I know it sucks. We want our favorites to have good material as well, but sometimes you got to support the bad stuff too. If I
Yeah.
can buy that 2015 run of, oh my god, it was cheeks. That book was cheeks, but you know what? I gritted my teeth. I bought the single issues. I bought the trades. Since Rebirth, Canary's been showing up a lot of places. Sometimes you got to do that for these characters. So you a
Yeah. And
cast fan, make sure you're buying Spirit World. Buy
mm-hmm.
multiple copies of the issue if you can. Um, Tim Drake fans, make sure you're buying Batman. Yes, because he's in. The backups are Tim Drake stories. Like he's not sharing the spotlight when he. Well, Mister Terrific is in and out
Mm-hmm.
of it, but it's mainly a Tim story. Sometimes you gotta buy these characters even if they're not showing up in a place where you want them, or the writing isn't the best, or the art's not the best. Sometimes you got to grit your teeth and buy a bad book.
Yeah. And
Support the characters you want to see more of.
exactly, and yeah, to close, that Green Arrow Aquaman book, Deep Target wasn't the best, but hey, best believe I showed up every single month and bought that shit, man. And who knows, maybe it'll do better in trade. Now if I could sit down and find the time to read it, but hey, man, it's true. And I had a little bit of a friendly debate, with Elvis. It's like, hey, listen, bro, there's a lot of bad books out there that we arguably bad books out there, but they still selling well, bro. So we're not gonna go in there. We'll see them
Hmm.
when we do the charts. But yeah, man. So hey, there's no excuse. But yeah, if you're watching this, after the stream, let me know what your thoughts are down below about the Tim Drake and Batgirl cancellation. Let me know again in the chat. Let me know what you guys think about the Tim Drake and Batgirl cancellation. But yeah, it's enough talking about that. Fuck it. You know what? Let's move on to why we really here. So it's top 200 time, February 2023. And I'm gonna put the timestamps down below because I know we ate up like 45 minutes and we didn't even go into it, but fuck it. That's what happens when we talk about these comics. But yeah, man, y'all know the deal. We're gonna do 10 at a time, and then AJ and I will go through and talk about our thoughts about these rankings. So yeah, let's go on here. Starting off at number 1, we got Amazing Spider-Man 19. Number 2, we got Batman 132. Number 3, we got Dark Web Finale number 1. Number 4, we have Daredevil number 8. Number 5, we got Superman number 1. Number 6, we got Batman and the Joker Deadly Duel number 4. Number 7, we got Venom 16. Number 8, we got Moon Knight 20. Number 9, we got Storm and the Brotherhood of Mutants number 1. And number 10, we got Miles Morales Spider-Man number 3. All right, AJ, take it off. What you think?
Not a lot of surprising things here. Like you said, Spider-Man number 1, Batman number 2. That's pretty much it is what it is. Those two swap out for those top 2 spots. Like month after month. So that's pretty consistent. Daredevil all the way at number 4. I don't think Daredevil's been that high in a while. I'm super behind on Zdarsky's. This I guess this is the conclusion of his run.
Yeah, he's last month he was pretty high up there too.
He was okay.
Yeah.
Yeah. So okay. Well, that's him being consistent. Then good. Superman all the way at number 1. I understand it's a new number 1, but my God, that's great. That's great to see for Superman. That last main Superman book we were getting. I'm not gonna say I don't count PKJ's Superman book, but his time on the main Superman was just to set up him going to War World and setting up John taking over. I don't. Did he even get 6 issues of the main Superman book? I can't remember.
It was like it was a crossover between Action Comics and the main Superman book. So I think a piece he got like maybe 1 or 2.
Yeah, I didn't think it was a lot. So that's basically the last real Superman run we got was Bendis. We know his numbers weren't great with that run. So to see him all the way in the top 5, that is excellent. I understand, those numbers will fluctuate as new issues come in. It might not be too much because Superman 2 came out today. You had a first appearance of a character, and it was a great first appearance. So, hopefully going forward, he stays up. He might not be top 10, but keep my boy in the top 50, and I'm proud of him. Let's see here. Also, Miles Morales, number 3 at number 10. That's great to see, and it proves like Ro was just saying, these legacy characters can work if if you're doing something interesting with them. I can't even say that this is a proven creative team because the writer for this Miles run, I'm not 100% certain, but I don't think he's done anything in comics before. He was in the writer's room on She-Hulk and I think one of the other MCU shows, but I think this is his first foray into comics. So
didn't he do?
Good on him.
I feel like that person did the Spider-Punk joint. I could be wrong.
You're probably not. You're probably not. Like I said, it's not somebody I'm super familiar with. But put it this way, this person does not come from the comics world. They come from other areas of Marvel Entertainment. So to see them doing well on Miles, that's great. And it's good for for the character himself, Miles. To this is 3 issues now. This might be the highest, but he's been doing well on this new run, so that's good to see.
Yep. But, he was a Blackwing told us he was on Spider-Punk, and I looked it up on the side too. Yeah, he did Spider-Punk.
Okay, yep. Cool. So all right, he's got a little more comics experience than I'm giving him credit for. I apologize for that, but yeah, no, that's a pretty solid top 10. Nothing too surprising.
Yeah. Good to see Amazing Spider-Man back on number 1 again. A lot of talk about that book, but hey,
month after month, bro.
listen, I just said it, right? We have a book that is arguably ass. If you go by what the TL says, this book is ass juice. It's garbage. It's shit. But what's at number one, bro? Bro, Amazing Spider-Man. Hey,
Spider-Man, Spider-Man.
Spider-Man. Ain't it funny how it works? So good to see
Yep.
that at number one. Let's see. Good to see Daredevil at number eight. And yeah, we talked about it on the timeline, but so apparently we were duped into buying a whole nother relaunch because there's the trade that's out, bro. It's not called Daredevil. It's called Daredevil and Elektra. But
Yeah,
the
and yeah, I
floppies,
got it. I know.
oh, them motherfuckers. Them motherfuckers are
Mhm.
good. Them motherfuckers are good. And hey, you know what? To their benefit, also, Daredevil's in a good spot, bro. Number eight, and
Yeah,
it's still
absolutely.
charting in like the top 10 percentile. It's fucking dope. Fucking great.
Hmm.
Let's see. Good to
Absolutely.
see Superman number one. Yeah, man. Good to see, man. Williamson. If he's actually gonna stay on the book and stay consistent like this, we're in a good spot. Not much to say here. Um, hey, I talk shit about them X-Men books, but Focus showing up, man. So maybe there's a reason. Maybe that's the reason why they're still trudging along with this X-Men shit. So I can't talk about that. But yeah, Miles Morales at number 10. That's great, bro. Again, I said it before. These legacy characters can work. So yo, and also too, yo, rage bait YouTubers and even the culture war folk on Twitter and whatever have you. Miles Morales is here to stay. This ain't us just blowing smoke out our ass, bro. We've been doing this for God knows how many months, and Miles Morales has been a consistent top 50 book. Yes, sometimes it's like sheltered off from the top 50, but it's been consistent, man. He's not going anywhere. Put respect on Miles's name. But yeah, not much to say here. Let's move on to the 11s. So we got 11, Batman Beyond the White Knight number 8, 12, Amazing Spider-Man number 20, 13, X-Men 19, 14, Nightcrawlers number 1, 15, Red Goblin number 1, 16, Bloodline Daughter of Blade number 1. Okay. 17, Scarlet Witch number 2, 18, Spider-Man number 5, 19, Hulk number 12. Okay. And 20, Fantastic Four number 4. Good to see Batman Beyond the White Knight ending strong. Good to see. This is the reason why we still have, the Murphy verse because he's doing numbers over there. Again, wow, this is the highest I've seen the main X-Men book in a minute, so that's good. Good to see Amazing Spider-Man up there. Looks like that Bloodline Blade book that might be worth checking out. Yeah, Hulk number 12. Yo, even without what's his name? Kate's on that book is still doing well. So salute to Otley, man, because Otley, if I'm not mistaken, is doing double duty. So good for him. Good for him. But yeah, not much to say here. What about you, AJ?
Uh, like you say, not much. Beyond the White Knight being at number 11. That's a nice finish for it. Hopefully DC gets that hardcover out soon, so I can actually pick that up and read it. I think that a lot of that White Knight stuff reads better in a
Mm-hmm.
single sitting. It's not bad month to month, but I just like to read them all at once at this point. Um, Look at it. We're in the second top 10. I mean, it's the second 10 section of the book. The second 10 books, I should say. So this is your top 20. And Amazing Spider-Man has already shown up twice.
That's two
Um,
shots. Take that every time you see
yeah,
Spider-Man, take
yeah.
a shot. All right.
So like we said, man, y'all folks on comic Twitter, y'all are not representative of the comic buying audience. I don't know how many times we have to say it. And we tend to have to deal with the number of titles. So yeah, y'all are full of shit. Um, X-Men 19. I want to say that's the issue where old woman Laura, well, not old woman, it's the main Laura came back, and then you got the new clone Laura Associate. So I think that was the reason for that being that high. It was a decent issue. It was fine. Let's see. I've got a lot of number ones, so I'm not surprised to see them this high. Scarlet Witch, I'm surprised that's still up there. I guess those WandaVision fans might actually be starting to buy comics because I didn't think that first issue was anything special, but issue 2 and it's still in the top 20, so that's
Yeah.
good to see. Yeah, another. I mean, it's not Amazing Spider-Man, but you got another Spider-Man book in your top 20, so that's nothing too surprising. I'm kind of surprised that Hulk is. I have to look at how those other Hulk issues did because I think Kate stepped off fairly early. He had his uh, real life issues going on, so to see that book still maintaining sales, that's pretty cool. And yeah, I'm not reading Fantastic Four, so I can't say whether 20 is 20 is a good number for any book, but I don't have too much on that.
Yeah. Also, salute to Philip Kennedy Johnson, man. He's gonna be writing Hulk next. Salute, salute, salute.
Yes,
Well
yes,
deserved.
absolutely. I might get to picking up that Hulk again. This run really, it wasn't for me, especially after what we got with Immortal Hulk. So, but PKJ, he's earned my trust, so I'll at least check out the first few issues.
Yeah, likewise, likewise. Let's see here. Um, let's go on to the 20s. So we got 21 Silver Surfer Ghost Light number 1, 22 Ghost Rider 11, number 23 Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles Last Ronin Lost Years number 1, 24 Avengers 65 Y, 25 Star Wars Darth Vader 31, 26 Immortal X-Men number 1, 27 Poison Ivy number 9. Shout out to G Willow. 28
Absolutely.
Amazing Spider-Man number 18. That's another shot. 29 Lazarus Planet Omega number 1. And rounding things off at 30 is Wolverine 30. All right, I think did I go? AJ, you go first. Go ahead.
Yeah, sure. Eh, as far I've got the last Ronin hardcover for the main series, so and that did really really well for IDW, the floppies and the collected edition. So them putting out another Last Ronin, well, it's not a tie-in, but a book dealing with that, I'm not surprised that the a lot of these indie publishers, they need to, if they get something hot, they're gonna ride that wave. So I wouldn't be
Mhm.
surprised to see a lot more books in the style of Last Ronin pop up over the next few years. Avengers, why?
Mm.
I guess I'm the perfect example of the timeline not being real life because I hate that run. I hate Aaron's Avengers, but every month after month after month,
Bro, I feel like it's
that book
climbing,
is selling
dog.
well.
It's
Like, yeah, it
climbing.
is, it is. I mean, part of that is because they know the book is ending, and I think he's doing an event in it right now. But Jesus Christ, man. I'm behind on Vader. Moral X-Men I haven't even picked up. I'm sure, brother, I've fallen off of so many X books, but I need to see what they're doing because they got Follow X coming up, and I think a lot of people who thinking that they're going to end the Krakoa era, I think they're
It's
going to be,
not.
yeah, it's not going to happen. They're making too much money off of it, bro. You might get some status quo changes, but I think that's here to stay. Um, Poison Ivy, shout yes again.
Let's go,
This
G
book,
Willow.
yeah, absolutely. You're seeing why they extended that book to a full on ongoing, and if y'all keep showing up like this, I can see that book lasting a long time.
Mm-hmm.
We might be here 2 years from now talking about Poison Ivy issue 50 or whatever. So
Oh
hey,
yeah,
shout out to them.
and shout out to is it
Um,
Kelly Thompson? It's Kelly Thompson, right?
yeah, absolutely,
Kelly, is it?
absolutely.
Yeah, Kelly Thompson, yo. So a shout out to her. She's reaching her run is reaching issue 50, yo. That's a big feat. The big feat, yo.
Yeah,
Big, big, big,
especially
big.
for a character like Captain Marvel, who the internet tells me is horrible and everybody should hate. But hey, 50 issues is amazing. That run has been great. Great. I'm a little behind on it. I think I'm in the 30s right now, but it's a good run. It's got an Omni coming out in May. I'll get that. I'm sure 50 issues. They can make two Omnis if they want.
It's two. This is they're making
Uh,
two.
it is too. Okay,
Mm-hmm.
good. So yeah, I'll definitely pick it up. Um, but yeah, back to the the list at hand. Let's see. Amazing Spider-Man 18. Like you said, that's another Amazing Spider-Man.
It's another shot.
That's three times, and we ain't even got to number 30 yet. That's a yeah, that book is. I understand it's Spider-Man, and Spider-Man is gonna sell, but just because it's selling doesn't mean it has to be in the top 28 titles released in a month. Like, hey man, somebody liking that run. Lazarus Planet Omega. I'm gonna keep it a bean. Them Lazarus Planet books could have been the Alpha, the Omega, and the book and the issue from Batman and Robin, Batman vs Robin.
Sick.
That could have been it, and I'd have been happy with that event. Some of the tie-ins were better than others and okay, but overall, you really just needed the main stuff, and you could have been great, good to go. Um, Wolverine number 30. I think that's a few issues ahead of where I am, but hey, like we said, these X books keep showing up on the list, so yeah, they making money, so it is what it is.
Yeah. What else? Yeah. Not much to say here. I enjoyed the Lazarus Planet stuff for what it was. I think it was just the rollout was just janky. That's my only complaint. I think maybe we could have done well without the tie-ins in between. Maybe if we had a little something called like Lazarus Planet Aftermath, and then we kind of got some of the stuff rolled out, maybe it would have been received a little better. But just how these stories played out, some of them didn't play into the Lazarus Planet stuff as well as the others did. So I understand the gripes there, but the same thing here. Say what you want. People showed up for them books, and I really hope that the book spinning out of it do well because there's a lot of potential there. Yeah, Avengers, don't know why I'll keep mine. Don't know what else to say there. And yeah, what is it? Wolverine. Hey, listen, bro. The X-Men books are making money. I think Fall of X is just another way for Marvel to dupe folk into thinking, oh, it's gonna be over, but they're gonna continue, bro. They're gonna continue.
Mm-hmm.
If anything, we might just get a complete relaunch after this. Like we won't have to wait that long because again, they're succeeding over whatever they're doing over there is working. So maybe there's some extra books that aren't selling as well as others, and they're not afraid to keep relaunching those. They won't get rid of
Yep.
it. They'll keep relaunching. So yeah, we stuck with whatever's going on for a while. But yeah, let's move on. And while we got him here, yeah, hey, comic boom. So listen, last night I took an edible. And once the edible hit, I realized, hey, bro, comic boom dead ass told us before the news dropped that Jeremy Adams was not gonna be on the Flash. And we took it as just like baseless speculation, but nah, bro, you really had the inside knowledge or whatever, and you were telling us, and we were just like, nah, this ain't it. 2 weeks later, yeah, Jeremy Adams, I'm off the Flash. So good looks, brother. Good looks. We had to give you your shout outs, man. Good looks. But yeah, let's moving on to 31. So X-Force 37, 32. We got Sins of Sinister number 1, 33, 8 Billion Genies number 7, 34, Lazarus Planet, Legends Reborn number 1, 35, Thor 31, 36, Batman One Bad Day Clayface, 37, Star Wars Hidden Empire number 3, 38, Lazarus Planet Next Evolution number 1. Oh, I think that's the one that went to second printing. 39, Batman Spawn number 1, and 40, Star Wars High Republic number 5. Yeah, man, like I said, love or hate the Lazarus Planet stuff. Oh, we got lost. AJ, yeah, like I said, love or hate the Lazarus Planet stuff. They're selling well. Well, they sold well, and Lazarus Planet Next Evolution, I think right when it came out, it went to second printing. So salute to Ram V and everybody else involved. But yeah, I think is Kate still on Thor, or did he leave that one too? I think he left it. And salute to whoever is writing it because it's still in the top 50 percentile. Like, damn, they must have studied Homeboy's pen extremely well, or he had notes left over, and that's what they're going off of. Because it's crazy. Hulk and Thor still doing well. It's almost like they didn't lose a beat once Kate's left the book. So salute to that. Salute to Batman One Bad Day. That's Colin was it Colin Kelly and Jackson Lansing? I apologize if I'm getting the last names mixed up. I'm rooting for those two. They're doing amazing work on Captain America. I read it in the trade, and they did amazing work with Green Arrow when they were on the book. So I'm always rooting for that duo, man. They're doing great work over there. But yeah, that's about it for me.
Okay, let's see here. X Force. I'm behind on it. I think I'm close to being where 37, 38. I think we're right around in there. A Beast is acting an ass, but yeah, it's a good book. Deserves to be here. Sins is Sinister. God bless Art Germ for that Emma Frost cover. Yeah, I'm not surprised that it's selling this well. I haven't read it, but I got the variant up next to a couple of his other covers, so we'll
Nasty
get to that
man.
eventually. Nah. Oh. You don't went from nasty to rich, huh? Okay. Because that brother's covers they cost a grip, and yeah, I can't be getting too many of them. Um, let's see, Lazarus Planet, good for that to be here. 8 billion genies. Okay, that's doing pretty well. I got that first trade. I might need to go back into that because it seems like that's doing pretty well. So I remember it being fairly interesting. So I might get back into that. Let's see, like you said, Thor. Good on it for still being able to maintain a good position in Kate's absence. Uh, damn, Batman Spawn is still showing up in the top 50.
Bro, that is insane.
Yeah, that book came out like what 3 months ago, 2 months ago.
Yeah.
Jesus, yeah,
Whew.
that's kind of crazy. Yeah, but nothing else here really stands out to me. Like I said, that is just insane. Good lord,
Damn, bro. Whew.
especially for a 6.99 book, like to still be coming in this high. That's kind of crazy. That's impressive.
Yeah, man. Like, hey, listen, this is why they keep pumping out the Batman books, man. Because folk gonna show up. They're gonna show up. You put
Hmm.
Batman, they showing up. What is it? Hold on. We got comment here. Comic Boom said Lazarus Planet did sell better than I expected it to. Revenge of the Gods is riding on his coattails. Yeah, it's waiting for me. I need to read that. Um, yeah, I gotta go read that one. I think Clooney and Conrad is on it, and also G Willow's on it too. So because it's G Willow, I gotta check that out. Um, let's see. Oh, and Combo said DC Comics has 3 comics in the top 10, 420, 630, 1040, 1350, and only 28 in the top 100. It's not terrible though. Not bad.
That kind of mirrors their market share. Seem like they
Yeah.
bounce anywhere from between 24 to 26% of market share. So that's not surprising.
Yeah.
You know, yeah, I'm sure they would love to have more books in the top 100. I'm not going to dispute that at all. But they also put out less books than their counterpart on a monthly basis. So
Yep.
um, yeah, it is what it is. But
Yeah.
those numbers will probably go up in a couple months. They got a lot of new stuff launching, but
Mm-hmm.
after that, we'll go through their ebbs and flows cycle. Um, they'll go back down, they'll go back up, they'll go back down. It is what it is at this point.
Yeah. So let's move on to 41. We got Star Wars 31, 42, Invincible, Iron Man number 3. 43, we got Deceased War of the Undead Gods number 6. 44, we have Lazarus Planet Dark Fate number 1. 45, we have King Spawn 19. 46, we have Mary Jane and Black Cat number 3. 47, we have Nightwing 101. Damn, that dropped. 48, we have Alien number 6. 49, we have Spawn 338. And rounding things off at 50 is Saga 62. AJ, take it away.
Um, yeah, Nightwing. That's about where it actually should be. That 100 issue that knocked it up way higher than the quality of that book. The book is it was way higher than it should have been. I'll leave it at that. Saga is actually it's starting to do a little climbing. They might have knocked the rust off, and maybe people are coming back from the hiatus. So yeah, it's in the top 50 this month. So I think this might be about the second time we've seen it this high since they've come back. So good on them. Deceased or the Undead Gods 43. Is that a little lower or higher? Is that about where it has been in previous ones? I can't remember. It
Roughly,
seemed like
roughly,
okay,
it's hovering
yeah,
there. It's always a book that's
yeah,
sold pretty well, so I'm not too worried about it.
okay, okay, good, good, good. Let's see here. Anything in else in particular? Nah, that's about it. Nothing looks like majorly out of place.
Yeah, same here. Nothing too much to speak on. DC is the I wait for. And good to see Lazarus Planet still here. But yeah, we can move on. Not much to say here. Actually, good to see that. It feels like that whatever they're doing with Mary Jane and Black Cat, it's working, bro. Because I feel like we'll see that book and then we won't see it again, and then it comes back and it does well. So whatever they're cooking over there is great, and I need to sit down and check it out.
Mm.
Let's see. Let's move on to the 50s. All right, this is the shit you guys got to pay for if you're not paying for it already. And as always, shout out to AJ because this is his account. But yeah. So all right, let's move on. All right, number 51, Blue Book, number 1. 52, Batman Superman World's Finest. 53, Star Wars Sauna, Star Wars Sauna Star Roast, number 1. 54 is Saga 61. 55 is Joker, The Man Who Stopped Laughing, number 5. 56, The Flash 792, 1 Minute War. Let's fucking go. 57, Captain America Sentinel of Liberty number 9. I feel like that book is climbing. Okay. 58, Demon Wars Down in Flames number 1. 59, Gunslinger Spawn 17. And rounding things off is Avengers Forever number 14. Oh, you motherfuckers. All right. Yeah, good. Yo, for real, bro. Salute to the fucking Flash, man. Telling y'all, man, stop sleeping on Jeremy fucking Adams. I'm sad that he's leaving. But again, when you see how much that book has climbed, oh, it makes me even more sad that he's leaving the book, man. I really feel like that relaunch should have gone to him. I understand why DC's doing what they're doing, but fuck, man. When I see this, I'm so happy, but I'm sad too. So this makes me even more excited for that Green Lantern because I feel like, people want Green Lantern and Jeremy Adams has good stock behind him. So I have no doubt that book will do good. And again, good to see Captain America doing what it's doing. But yeah, not much else to say about this bunch. What about you, AJ?
Give me just a second.
Mm-hmm.
Pull my list back up. Again, Saga is up here. 54, not top 50, but yeah, that book. It seems like folks have come back around on Saga, so that's good to see. World's Finest, that's continues to be a great book. So I'm not surprised to see it here. The Flash, like you say, shout out to Jeremy Adams. You can tell brother is a little perturbed about being pulled off the Flash. Like I haven't been reading it month to month, but I can tell he's put in a lot of good work. He cares about that cast of characters, and he
Mm-hmm.
feels like he's being taken off a little prematurely. I cannot blame him for being upset. I probably would feel some kind of way too, but hey, it's somewhat of a Batgirl situation. Might have been a little decline, might have been a little too late, but
Mm,
at least with Flash, you can definitely say that that book has uh it's profitable at the time he's being pulled off. So
yep.
yeah, that kind of sucks. I'm behind on both the Cap books, but good to see Sentinel of Liberty up here and Avengers Forever. Is it? I think Aaron's doing that too. I might be
Mm-hmm.
wrong, but he is. Okay, yeah, yeah. Seems like that's the event. Yeah, I guess, guys. Yeah, just it's time for the new creative team to take over on that book. I
Please.
can't keep talking about Aaron's run month after month and how bad it is. So
Please.
somebody likes it, so more power to y'all.
Yeah. Oh, so let's answer some of these real quick. Yeah, we'll get to Action Comics. We'll get to Action Comics for sure. Said Action Comic. Sevi said Action Comics is great, and so is the Flash. For real, For real, for real, for real. We'll talk about Action Comics though, for real. How's the Adventures of John Kent? Yeah, Comic Boom explained it. Yeah, that debuted this
Yeah, I
month.
think last week, I want to say. Might have been the week before.
Actually, might have been a couple weeks ago. Actually, I feel.
Mm,
Wait, yeah.
okay.
Let me look that up. Hold on. Adventures of John Kent. I feel like it's that came out. Let's see here. That released on. Oh yeah, Mark. Yeah, it was this month, guys. Yeah, it was this month, guys. This month.
Okay.
So yeah, that's
Okay.
why it's not up here. But yeah. So let's move on. 61, Bishop War College, number 1, 62, Gold Goblin, number 4, 63, Flash, 1 Minute War Special, number 1, 64, Swamp Thing, Green Hell, number 2, 65, Static, Shadows of Dakota, number 1, and also shout out to the creative team, Vita Ayala and Draper, because that did go on the second printing. I love to see it. I would love to see that continue. Hell, I would love to see it even go higher than 65. But good to see one the second printing, man. That makes me very happy. Let's see here. 66 is Amazing Spider-Man, 129 Fast Smile Edition, 67 Darkwing Duck number 1, 68 Something is Killing the Children 29, 69 is Deadpool number 4, and rounding things off at 70 as Spider-Man Lost Hunt number 4. But yeah, man, the Flash 1 Minute War Special, I believe that was just like a tie-in to the event. It was pretty great. Good to see it. That's not bad at all. Not bad at all. And yeah, man, not much to say here. Just very happy for Static and Flash. What about you, AJ?
Yeah. Let's see here. Bishop War College, or as I call it, the race swap or orgy. Hey, good for it showing up at number 1. I saw previews of it. I'm like, yeah, this is nothing I'm going to be interested in. It's a gimmick, but it's a decently selling gimmick for number 1. Let's see what it does in the months that follows. Flash 1 Minute War, well, again, Jeremy Adams. Um, hey man, he's put in the work that the Flash stuff has consistently climbed. Yeah, I wish he could have ended his tenure on that book under better circumstances for him, but hey, I'll check out his Green Lantern. Hopefully, he can get some longer term commitments from DC on that book. Uh, yeah, I'm behind on the milestone stuff because
Issue
I
one
had
was
to pick
good,
up
bro.
Static in. Okay, I'll check it out. I had to pick up Static in trade. That last milestone stuff that DC was doing, it left a little bad taste in my mouth. But I'll give this a shot. Let's see, Swamp Thing, Green Hill. It's always good to see a Swamp Thing book up high. I feel like that's a character that's underrated, doesn't get the recognition he deserves. So good on it. Uh, okay, that's a Facsimile edition. I thought Amazing Spider-Man, the current one, was up here again. I was boy, and something is killing the children. That's pretty much a mainstay on this list. I think that adaptation for Netflix is back underway. So shout out to Tynan there. Not a fan of your Batman, bro, but your indie stuff, you kill it as always.
And Joker,
Uh,
fire, fire.
yeah, Joker was excellent. Like, so, hey, man, when when your stuff is trash, I'll tell you. When your stuff is great, I'll tell you. Like, if those two books, Joker in particular, man, that is some of. I'm gonna go ahead and say Joker is better than his Detective Comics run, even though it's much shorter. Joker was excellent.
Ooh.
And let's see, Deadpool and Spider-Man. Yeah, not reading either one of those. So that's about it for here. Nothing too surprising.
All right, all right. Um, 71 Legion of X number 10, 72 House of Slaughter number 12, 73 Thor 30, 74 She-Hulk 10, 75 I Hate Maryland number 4, 76 Batman One Bad Day Catwoman. I believe that is a reprint because I feel like I seen that last month. I could be wrong.
Yeah.
Oh, 77 Black Panther 14. Well. 78. Amazing Spider-Man 17.
Why
That's
do I
another
need what
shot.
y'all bought that out of morbid curiosity from me? What? I'm sorry. Like what are y'all doing, man? Don't make them have second thoughts about firing Ridley. Leave him out in the don't buy that Black Panther. See, that pisses me off more than the Avengers run, man. Like, come on, y'all. That book is bad, bro.
Yo,
Marvel
bro.
needs to get the message that they are disrespecting T'Challa in too many avenues. Do not pick up that book. Y'all better not make 15 sell out. Man, good lord, brother.
Bro, you know what's crazy? We watched that book cover
What's
in the
that?
low 100s for a little bit, and then it just skyrocketed.
Yeah, yes, man. Exactly that. It's like
That shit is funny, bro. Oh my gosh.
y'all don't made that shit a top 100 book this month. If it would have been selling like that the rest of the time, Ridley would still be on that book going forward. Goodness gracious, man. Y'all gonna make them. Y'all gonna make Marvel hire them for something else. Y'all know that, right? Jesus, man.
Yeah, this is
I
hilarious,
am so
bro.
glad DC not gonna fall into that trap because boy,
Oh fuck.
oh,
Oh, 78, Amazing Spider-Man 17, 79, Batman Legends of Gotham number 1, and 80, Marauders 11. Let's see here. Yo, yeah, good to see Thor. Back is still here. She-Hulk still doing his thing. I gotta read Batman One Bad Day Catwoman. I have it here. I just didn't pick it up. I think G Willow wrote that one too. Yeah,
yeah,
good to
that
see
one was real good.
Batman Legends of Gotham number 1. Hey, bro, if you are missing Batman and the Outsiders, please pick that up. That was a great issue by Jock. Definitely worth the money for real. I feel like I don't know, they didn't want to put it underneath the Lazarus Planet stuff, so they just gave it its own little one shot. So I feel like the Outsiders fans have been eating good. You just got to look out for that shit, but that was a good issue, well worth it. But yeah, other than that, got not much to say about this list.
Yeah, let's see. Like I said, the One Bad Day Catwoman, that was very good run. I mean, issue. She-Hulk number 10, a little lower than I like to see She-Hulk, but still doing well. Thor again, in the what's that? No, we'd already did 75, 73. Excuse me. Um, yeah, man, that. Oh well, right up under Black Panther, Amazing Spider-Man again. Y'all full of shit.
Mm,
Um, yeah, man, this Black Panther being this high is really bothering me, man. And T'Challa, that's my guy, but this run is bad. Like bad, bro. Like as much shit as I talk about Wakanda Forever, this run is worse than that, man.
ooh,
Don't please don't y'all make 15 because I think it's getting 15. I think 15 is the conclusion.
yeah.
Don't y'all make that. Don't y'all buy that issue, man. Let it be in the depths of this list where it deserves to be. That is not a top 100 book. Come on, y'all know better. Y'all know better. I done told y'all about that book. Really is really, man. That's all I got to say about that. Um, Legends of Gotham, I will check that out because I am missing Outsiders and I need a good Outsiders fix at the moment. So yeah, I'll go I'll go cop it off Comixology. So I'll check that out. But that's about all for this section. Black Panther is bad. Don't y'all stop it. Stop. Y'all bad
Hey,
cheering.
listen,
Bad
man.
cheering. Do not be
Like I said before, man. There's bad books out there. Well, there's books out
yes.
there that's arguably bad, and people will show up. So there's no reason why folk didn't show up for Tim Drake and Batgirls.
Yeah,
All right, let
man.
me stop. All right, 81, Extreme X-Men number 3. 82, Avengers 8, Fast Smile Edition. 83, Star Wars Yoda number 4. 84, Gotham City Year 1 number 5. Joe Fixit number 2. 86, Action Comics 1051. 87, Betsy Braddock Captain Britain number 1. Damn, that's low. 88, Star Wars Bounty Hunters 31. 89, Danger Street number 3. And 90, Secret Invasion number 4. AJ, what you got to say about this one?
Uh, Gotham City Year One feels like that might be a bit higher than the last time we saw it. King said it's not selling particularly well. I picked up the previous issues. I haven't read them yet, but everything I hear about it, is good. Action Comics has slipped a bit. I would like to see that back in the top 50. So let's rectify that next month, guys. Yeah, Betsy Braddock, Captain Britain, #1. Yeah, I understand the reasons why they split Betsy and Quanon Psylocke apart. For folks who don't know, I understand why they split them apart and the reasonings behind it, and the Twitter noise that um, was made about a white woman inhabiting an Asian woman's body for so many years. I understand all of that, but we talked about DC not having a plan for Tim Drake. Marvel absolutely has no idea what to do with Betsy, and they haven't for a few years now. They keep trying to make her stick. What was that? Jesus, what was that run? That wasn't Marauders. What's the other? Excalibur. They've done what,
Yeah.
like three Excalibur runs just in the Hickman era of the stuff, trying to give Betsy a story worthy of her. They haven't been able to yet, guys, and now you got a #1 for the character this low. Yeah. I don't know. In a minute, I'm gonna say it might be time to put her on the shelf for a year, and I would hate to say that because I love Betsy, but it is what it is, guys. Sad to see though. Sad to see. Captain Marvel 46.
Oh, you jumping? Oh, we in the
That's
90s.
probably one. What's that?
We in the 90s.
Oh shit, my fault. My
No, you
fault.
good,
Yeah.
bro.
Wait, we are in the 90s, all right?
Yeah, I'm gonna go on that list
Okay.
next.
No, okay, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
I'll wait. Go ahead. No.
Yeah, not much to say here, besides Action Comics. I don't know, man. Action Comics deserves to be higher. I know I'm gonna catch a lot of flack for this, especially if I make a video about it. Hey, bro, Action Comics from front to back is fucking heat. That main story is great. I like the Power Girl backup. I love it. I fucking love it. It's dope. I think it's arguably better than the main story. I'm saying that right now. I love it. I love it. It's great. The John Kent stuff, little John Kent, is great too. I love it. It's front to back, man. I'm having a good time with this book. What I worry about though is I worry about the quality of the main story, which is what people want. I worry about that dwindling because now you got to compete with three other stories when folk are just so used to Action Comics just having one story and maybe a backup. So I hope this backup situation is just a good place for these books to, get some footing so maybe they can branch out on their own. We know Power Girl's getting her own one shot. I don't know what's going to be the situation with the Lois and Clark #2. So maybe that spins out into its own thing. But yeah, man, I can also understand why people would be turned off from just reading Action Comics month to month because now the main story is smaller. But on the flip
Mm-hmm.
side too, you are paying a little bit more. So I don't know, but I really think maybe we got to go back to just the two-story Action Comics format because I can see this hurting the book in the long run. But yeah, that's about it for me. I got not much to say, but I don't know if you want to add on to the Action Comic stuff.
Yeah, I do actually. That's kind of what I always worry about with when you get backup stories in a book, especially a book that has kind of been flourishing under when it's getting given more real estate, just more page space to tell its story. I have to look at my copy of that last Action Comics, but is that thing even getting like 16 pages, 16, 20 pages now? It feels short. I think they've added some more pages. I think it's like a 40-page book now as a whole, but a lot of that real estate is going to the backups. So
Mm-hmm.
yeah, PKJ, he's been doing great things with Action, and I don't. I don't know. Maybe these backups aren't meant to be long lasting. I
Yeah.
hope not. And that's nothing against the backups. I like the Leah Williams one. I like the Lois and Clark one. But PKJ, he's proven himself on that book, and he deserves to keep telling the story at the length he wants to, and not having to compromise his narrative.
Yeah, man. So we'll see. We'll see, man. I hope, but we've been speculating on the timeline about how long this is gonna last. I think it'll be maybe for a couple more months and then we move on. But it's a wait and see situation, man. But yeah, PKJ has worked his ass off building that story up and getting Action Comics out the mud. So we need
Yeah,
to see it
absolutely.
improve. But again, 86 is not bad, but we know it could be better, especially since 1050 went into second printing. So we know the
Hmm.
potential is there. But yeah, I think that's about it. Was it? Oh yeah, Comic Boom asked Power Girl's getting a mini series, isn't she? Yeah, she's getting a one shot. So depending on how that does, then we might be able to see her spin out into her own series, which I want. I think a good mini series for her to continue the story would be great because that last issue of that backup, it was good. They're setting up some interesting things here. So this is a good place for the character to be. There's some friction building between her and Kara because of just their past history. And like, oh, the drama is there. There's something good there. So I want to see it flourish, but in its own way. But yes, let's move on.
Yeah.
Let's
Well, hold
see.
up. That
Oh,
y'all seen the covers for that Power Girl stuff, especially the mini. I mean the one shot. Yeah, I wouldn't worry too much about that getting extended. Seems like there's been a positive readership response to some of that, to a lot of that stuff. I got something tells me Power Girl is going to be getting some more books in the future. Just a hunch, guys. Just a hunch.
hey, listen, put Art Germ doing the interiors.
Bruh. Oh no.
Yo,
Nah, hold nah. They y'all can't afford Art Germ on interiors. Like they say that man's rate is insane for the cover. I would hate to see what they'd have to pay him for 22 pages of art a month. Oh my god.
hey, listen,
That might
I'll thirst
bankrupt
buy.
DC or Marvel.
I'll thirst buy, bro. I ain't gonna hold you.
Absolutely, but absolutely. But yeah, like I said, something tells me our girl is gonna be getting of quite a few more stories going forward.
uh, let's move on. Was we got 91 Captain Marvel 46. Okay. 92 Silver Miracle Man Silver Age #4. 93 Last Barbarians #1. 94 Detective Comics 1068. Whoa. 95 Catwoman 52. 96 Captain America Symbol of Truth #10. This is another series that's climbing. 97 Mighty Morphin Power Rangers TMNT #3. Excuse me. Well, #2, issue 3. 98 Avengers War Across Time #2. 99 Flash 793 1 Minute War. And 100 Nightwing 100. Oh, this probably a second print. Let's see
Mhm.
here. Good to see Captain Marvel hovering in the top 100. Hey, listen, man, there's a reason why that book was able to last 50 issues. You see it right here, bro. This is not a bad ranking at all for Captain Marvel. Um, I hope Tech is a reprint, because if not, god damn, because we haven't even seen Tech yet, so it might not even be
Yeah,
a reprint.
I'm about to
Oh,
check. Um,
oh, oh no, my brother, no.
it's not.
Oh no. Because typically, bro, we see Tech in like the at least in the 40s. Whoa, what's
Let
going
me see.
on?
What? Uh, Give me a sec. I'll pull it up. Let me see what date it came out on. That might
Oh,
be telling.
oh man, that is, hold on, 1068. It came out. Oh wait. Oh god. Oh, hold on. Oh, we good. We good. That's a reprint.
Yeah, it's 10.
Census is a. Yeah, but we haven't even
but you haven't
seen.
seen.
Yeah, what's
Yeah,
going on?
you're gonna no. I'm gonna tell you what. Uh, Came out on the last day of the month. You're gonna see it in
Oh,
the March numbers.
okay. Whew.
At least I hope so. You see it in the March numbers, but yeah. Um,
Oh God.
so we'll have to check that out, and we'll have to check for it next month. But yeah, hopefully that's not a trend starting with Detective.
Oh God. Oh my. Oh, I almost. Oh my, bro. Don't scare me like that. Lord have mercy. Whew. Okay. 95. Catwoman 52. I'm out of breath. Um, I just did this. Okay. Get to see Catwoman climbing. It's probably the reason why they're keeping what's her name over there? Was it Teeny Howard? So it's climbing, it's coming out the mud. So that's good to see. But yeah, man. Whew, I don't need to worry. Okay, AJ, go ahead. Whew.
Sure thing. Yeah, I got a little scared about Detective myself. Yeah, Catwoman 52 being up here. That's a little. It's not too surprising. Catwoman, numbers wise, anyway, hasn't been doing horribly, but yeah, that run is what it is. Captain Marvel looks like it might be down a little bit, but hey, man, that like you said, that run is getting 50 issues. That you can't call that anything but a success. So
Mm-hmm.
shout out to Kelly Thompson. Um, her Black Widow run should have lasted as long because it was the better of the two books. But hey, sometimes books just don't catch on. It is what it is. Let's see here. Like I said, I'm behind on the both of the Captain America books, but hey, good to see Symbol of Truth in the top 100. And let's see here. The Flash 793. That is the third Flash book we've seen in the top 100 from Jeremy Adams. Yeah, I think bro has a right to feel pissed off about not
Mm-hmm.
being able to continue with that book, man. That's like I said, the third one in the top 100. Yeah, I'd probably feel some kind of way too. Hate it for bro, but hey man, we move. He's on the Green Lantern, so we'll have to check him out there.
Yeah. Well, yeah, I mean that's about it. Let's see here. Nightwing 100, good for that book. 101, Gargoyles number 2, 102. Strange Academy Finals number 4, 103, Gargoyles number 3, 104, Batman, The Adventures Continue Season 3, number 2, 105, Deadly Neighborhood Spider-Man number 5, 106, Grimm number 8, 107, Nemesis Reloaded number 2, 108, Batman 131, 109, MMPR TMNT number 2, 110, Planet Hulk World Breaker number 4. Let's see here. Yeah, Batman 131. That's definitely a reprint. Good to see MMPR, TMNT getting multiple printings. That's good. That's always a good thing for Power Rangers. But yeah, not too much to say. Oh wait, yeah, Spider Man. Oh, it's not in the top 50, but still, I'll take a shot anyways for that. Yeah, that's about it. About you, AJ? Anything here?
uh, Not a ton. Grimm number 8. Feels like that should be a little higher. Stephanie Phillips was doing her thing on that, but that might be a reprint because I think that book is on hiatus right now
Oh,
for a month
okay.
or two. I might be wrong, but I think it is. Yeah, like you said, Batman 131. That's a reprint. Nemesis, isn't that the Millar and
Jimenez.
Jorge book?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah, nice to see. Nice to see Jorge with a title up here. You know, I haven't. I picked up the first issue. I don't think I sat down to read it. I might just wait until all 5 are out so I can go through that in one sitting. Millar sometimes he's a bit hit or miss for me, so I'll try him out all at once, see how I take to it. Power Rangers book at 109 seems like that's higher than they've been lately, so that's good to see. Planet Hulk Worldbreaker. I'm not reading, but hey, good for it.
Yeah, all right, let's move on. 111, we got Briar number 3, 112, Little Monsters number 10, 113, we got Carnage number 10, 114, DC's Harley Quinn Romances number 1, 115, The Walking Dead Deluxe 56, 116, Wildcats number 4, 117 is Wasp number 2, 118 is The Exile number 1, 119 is X-Men Legends number 6, 120 is Frank Franzetta's Death Dealer number 9. Oh yeah. Let's see. AJ, take it away. Anything here worth mentioning?
I think this is the first section of the list where I have not read a single title of everything that's listed. So yeah, not much. Ooh, a Harley Quinn. That's a number one romances. So I'm guessing that was a Valentine's Day special. I'm not used to seeing a Harley book that low. So I don't. Oh, never mind. That's a $10 book. Yeah, that's why that's that low. um, completely understandable. Let's see. Yeah, nothing else too interesting on here.
All right, yeah. Not much here to talk about either. Wild besides Wildcats. Yeah, I don't know. So, Streets are saying that Wildcats book ain't bad, yo. Streets are
Yeah,
saying
I've
it's
heard.
not bad.
I got the. I want to say the first issue. No, I got the. Yeah, I got the first issue and that 30th anniversary special. Geez, I can't think of my man's name who's writing it. It was
Rosenberg.
enjoyable. I'm sure. Yes, thank you, Rosenberg. Um, that anniversary special was enjoyable. I'm sure I'll dig into the main run eventually. But yeah, I've heard good things about Wildcats too.
Yeah, so maybe that's something that might sit well in trade. And supposedly in the upcoming solicits, bro, there's a Green Arrow's gonna be on the team. I don't know. There's a
Oh,
couple of weird
okay.
names on that shit, bro. So I don't know if it's in their universe or whatnot, but I might have to peep. So we'll see.
Yeah, that's one way to get me to pick it up.
Yeah. Yeah, so yeah, not much else to say here. Let's see here. 121. We got Spawn Scorch number 15. Oh, hold on, we got somebody in the chat. Someone bought Shits Martin's Tim Drake. We'll get to what we talked about earlier in the stream. But yeah, it didn't chart, guys. Yeah, let's just get out the way.
Yeah.
Tim Drake Robin didn't chart. Yeah, it didn't chart this month, guys. So
Which
yeah,
is never a good look for.
yeah, it's not a good look at all. So Tim Drake, nope, we will not find it on this list. That's probably one of the reasons why it's getting the axe, because it was hovering way below on the top 200 list, and now it's just not there. So people have completely checked out. Let's move on to 121. We got Spawn Scorch 15. We got 122 Where Monsters Lie number 1. We got 123 Star Wars Yoda number 3. 124 Murder World Moon Knight number 1. 125 Star Wars High Republic Blade number 2. 126 Horror number 1. 127 Junkyard Joe number 5. 128 DC A Celebration number 1. DC Power A Celebration number 1. 129 Batgirls 15. And 130 Spawn Unwanted Violence 2 out of 2. DC Power Celebration. Apparently this went into second printing, which is great. Good to see y'all show up, for these black characters and black creatives. So that's awesome. I hope you guys show up for that second printing too, if you guys didn't catch it. Yeah, Batgirls at 15, Batgirls 15 at 129. Yeah, sales are most likely why this series got the axe. Yeah, this is pretty fucking low, and like we said before, just there was some improvement in the past like 2 months, but again, it's just dipping down below, and it's not profitable, as AJ said. But yeah, not much else to say here. AJ, what about you?
Just a sec. Here we go. Yes, shout out to DC Power both for getting a second printing. So sold out at the distributor level. So that's always good to see. And for showing up on this list, 128. That's not aren't super numbers, but for company that doesn't always do right by its black characters, and we know, sometimes portions of the readership won't show up for them. But 128, hey, that's respectable for it. I will take it, especially for, like I said, a $10 book. Same thing with the
Yeah,
Harley stuff. So that's good to see. I bought I think two of the covers, and the digital. So I did my part. I'm doing my part for the reprint. Hopefully we can get. Well, we know we're getting at least one book out of it. No, well, one book for certain.
Cyborg.
And yeah, Cyborg and Vixen and Batwing are supposed to be. That story is supposed to be carrying on. So I don't know if we'll get a book, one shot, or mini if it carries on in some other series. Who knows? But so that's at least two things from that we'll be seeing more of. So that's good to hear. 129 Batgirls. That's a bit better than it had been in previous months.
That's lower, bro.
You know,
Remember, it hit it was in like 100 or like the high, like the low 100s last month.
uh, okay. I thought I'd
Yeah,
seen it. Well, that's before last month, but I think I've seen it down as far as maybe like 150, 160 ish. So, but like you said, that's before last month. So, all right. So yeah, maybe a little worse this time around. It's too little, too late for that book. I don't know what else to tell you about it. It is what it is. DC gave it. Well, once it's canceled, they will have given it over a year and a half and an annual. It doesn't have an audience. That's proven. That's been proven now. So, yeah, Cass is going to show up in the Spirit World book, and the Batgirl title is one that never stays off shelves for too long. I think the longest we've gone without a Batgirl book is actually this stretch before this one. Batgirl's got announced about a year and a half, so
mm-hmm.
I would expect to see a title soon. It's probably. I hope y'all can. Certain sections of the internet can steel themselves and get ready. It's probably gonna be Babs. I'm not gonna. I'm never gonna complain about that, but I know a lot of y'all will. So just get ready. Uh, let's see. And 130. Did we do 130? Did you say 130? I can't remember.
Yes, that's a 130.
Okay. Spawn, Unwanted Violence. Haven't read it, but we have seen Spawn on this list a lot this month. Seems like a
Mm-hmm.
little more than previous months. So that boy doing his thing.
Yeah. All right, moving on. We got 131. We got Local Man number 1. 132, Marvel Voices Wakanda Forever number 1. 133, Monica Rambeau Photon number 3. 134, Miles Morales Spider-Man number 1. Yo, God damn, that's we're a couple months removed from that number 1, and it's still doing numbers like
It's
this.
still, yeah, that's nice.
Hey, put respect on Miles' name, man. Enough,
Hmm.
please, enough. I'm not even gonna get into that again. 135, Doctor Strange Falls, Sunrise number 4. 136, Savage Avengers 10. I got some words about that. 137, Darkwing Duck number 2. 138, Sabre Tooth and Exiles number 4. 139, Batman Inc. number 5. 140, Masters of the Universe, Masterverse number 1. Let's see here. Savage Avengers. I'm sad that Savage Avengers ended. I thought Papose was doing great work on that book. But I think what really killed it for folk was the fact that we spent too much time in the 2099 universe. I feel like the 2099 universe is. I feel like that's a section of the Marvel universe where people have completely checked out of. Um, yes, story wise, it worked, but I think once people see 2099, they're like, you know what, bro, I'm out. Peace out. And it also doesn't help that the book did lose one of the main core cast, which was Conan, due to rights and stuff. So I think
Hmm.
those two things mixed together, people checked out, and also I made the stupid assumption of thinking the other reason they might have ended this book was because they wanted to put more focus on the main Avengers team, which is getting a relaunch. Oh, but no, because we have the fucking Uncanny Avengers that's coming soon. Why? But anyways, So yeah,
Hey man, that's another X-Men book and everything but name, bro.
so well, it sucks to see, but I think they tried. I think Popose, he can give himself a pat on the back. I thought the series was consistent all throughout. But yeah, we got Dugan's run, which was great. We got Proposa's run, which was great. Hopefully, somewhere else down the line, maybe with maybe some more time between, we get another Savage Avengers team that people can warm up to. But yeah,
Yeah.
Monica
They got
Rambeau.
an omnibus coming up for
Oh
Dugan's
yeah,
run. Support that. Increase your chances of getting another Savage Avengers run by going out and getting that. I got it pre-ordered already. Hope y'all do the same.
I need to do that as well. Yeah, Monica Rambeau, Photon number 3. And like I said, bro, y'all full of shit, bro. Oh, Monica Rambeau. All right, bro. Enough. That's a black character. Number 3 should not be that low. But I guess it balances out because you got Miles Morales is just fucking kicking ass all over the place, which is great to see.
Mm-hmm.
Um, Batman Inc. I'm worried about this book. I'm not gonna lie. If Tim Drake
Same.
is hovering this low and it doesn't even make it to a trade, I don't see I don't see Batman Inc. lasting that long either. But also, Streets is telling me Batman Inc. may not even be that bad. Looks like they're doing some interesting things with the Joker there
It's
too.
it's
So
well, uh,
I don't know.
it's decent. Wait, Joker?
Yeah, this is
Yeah, I'm trying to think back. Have we seen? I don't think we've seen anything with Joker in that.
upcoming
Uh
solicits season some stuff for the
oh, okay,
Joker.
okay, okay, okay. That makes sense. Um, it's decent. Um, it's pretty much it's the Ghostmaker and Clown Hunter book with an additional cast of characters from the original Batman Incorporated. Um, it's decent. I'm not really a fan of Clown Hunter. I can take him or leave him, but Ghost Hunter is getting some good characterization, a bit more fleshing out of his backstory. So, yeah, that's fine. But yeah, seeing it, and we haven't even gotten enough for, like you said, a full trade, and we're already practically in the 140s. Yeah, I'm getting a little worried myself.
Yeah, so no, hopefully, homeboy can turn things around. But yeah, man, I just feel bad for Breeson, bro. They always putting that man on books that they they're on their way out, or even from Jump Street, it was not a good idea to put the book out to begin with.
Hmm.
I maybe feel like if time stick stuck around, maybe he could have done something that would have invigorated it, but at this point, I don't know. Maybe it's time for these characters to be put away. All right, let's move on. 141, we got Scarlet Witch number 1. 142, we got Radiant Black 21. 143, we got Venom 15. 144, we got Superman Space Age number 3. 145, we got Star Wars Dr. Aphra 29. 146, we got Nightclub number 3 of 6. 147, we got Hulk 11. That's probably a reprint. 148, I Am Batman number 18. I'm not surprised, thank God. 149, we have Wonder Woman 796. This is probably why we're getting a relaunch. And 150, we got Harley Quinn 26. God damn, that book dipped since they changed creative teams.
Hmm.
AJ, what you think?
Um, let's see here. Scarlet Witch still being that number one, still being up here. Like I said, I think they're up to at least issue 2 now. So,
Mhm.
yeah, I think WandaVision fans might be buying that book because it's still on this top 200 list. And like I said, that first issue wasn't great or anything. So, shout out to it, but definitely shout out to Radiant Black. That's the highest it's been in a while.
Mm-hmm.
They're getting some stuff moving in there. I mean, I'm having fun with all the Massive Verse books, but I understand some folk have fallen off of the main Radiant Black title, but looks like it's picking back up. They've got 2 big events coming up. Their Massive Verse 2023. That's usually a good time. You get characters from different titles
Mm-hmm.
together. Looks like the first Massive Verse set up a ton of stuff that if you go back and look at it now in hindsight, you'll see a lot of seeds were planted.
Mm-hmm.
I expect them to do the same thing with the second one. And then they've got Catalyst War coming up this summer, and for their big event for Radiant Black. And Higgins pretty much told y'all, hey, y'all want to get on these upcoming issues, and looks like folks have. So good for it.
Yep.
Superman, Space Age. Did was that one 3 came out? Oh well, yeah. It is what it is. I don't never like to see a Superman book this low, but like I said, like we said about some others, some more expensive titles, so that happens sometimes. I Am Batman. I think the last one I read was about 13,
You're
14.
not you're not missing
Yeah,
much. You're not.
yeah. I'm kind of fed up with really at the moment. He fooled a lot of us with other history of the DC universe, and it's been a journey trying to stick with his stuff since then. Wonder Woman 796 at 149. I understand Wonder Woman is not Batman. Wonder Woman is not Superman. A member of the Trinity's main title should never be selling this low. That is something's gone wrong. I can't put it any nicer than that. Yes, that's absolutely the reasoning behind that book getting a relaunch at number 800, or is that 801? I think 800 might be an anniversary edition.
And 800th
So
anniversary. 801 is
okay,
the new one. Yep.
okay. And you absolutely see why they put Tom King on that book. Loved King, hate King, somewhere in between on him. When King is on a popular or a known character, you're going to see him, usually no lower than mid 40 ish. I know Gotham City Year One hasn't done typical King numbers, but it's a Gotham City before any of the stuff that folks love about Gotham City is really taking place. So I understand it, even though I heard he did lay some Court of the Owls groundwork in that. So I might go. I will go back because I have them all sitting. The first 4 issues, I got to get 5, but yeah, I fully understand why they're giving Diana him. They want to infuse some life into that title. They want folk talking about that title, and when Tom King's on a book, people will definitely talk about it one way or another.
And bro,
So I would.
Kim got to give himself some credit, bro, because that Gotham book is not selling horribly, bro. I mean, I don't think it's selling as well as he
No,
would like it to sell,
no,
but
it's not.
that's
He
not
he's hard.
bad.
He's hard on himself, but he's definitely hard on himself. But for, like I said, a Gotham title with no Batman, with no
Yeah.
any of the, with very few of the familiar things that folks know about. Yeah, it's not. It could be doing a lot worse. So yeah, shout out to him. But like I said, I fully see why DC's putting him on that title. And Harley Quinn at 150. Boy, Harley's been lower and lower on that main title. I think it's been
Mm,
lower than this one time, but yeah, it's I don't know, guys. As much as DC pushes Harley, as popular as that character has become, hit TV show, been in plenty of movies. Yeah, somewhere along the line, something happened with the comic, and folks aren't feeling it. So I might have to do a readjustment there.
mm-hmm. Let's see here. 151, Wakanda number 5, 152, The Walking Dead Deluxe 57, 153, Batman One Bad Day, Bane number 1. I think that's a reprint. 154,
Yes, that came out
Namor.
months ago.
Yeah, Namor Conquered Shores number 5. 155 is Immortal X-Men number 10, definitely a reprint. 156, Punisher War Journal base number 1. That's probably a reprint. 157, Quick Stops number 4. 158, Black Adam number 8. Woo. 159, TMNT 137, and 160, Justice Society of America number 2. Let's see here. What to say about this bit? Yeah, man. You know what? As much as I like Priest, we gotta admit it, bro. This run has been very shaky.
Yeah.
There's moments of
Um.
there's moments when he got me, but there's a lot of other moments I'm like, bro, where are we going? Where are we going?
Yeah, I hear you. I'm liking that book a lot better than most, but I can admit the cracks are starting to show for me. I just read what was that number 9 came out today. Um, it was good to get more backstory on Adam, but the big one of the big selling points of that book is Malik, and he's barely in it today. So this month's issue will probably be low on next month's list as well. So I know when that run was first starting, Priest was talking about he was hopeful that it would get extended into a season 2. We are on this list. We're 8 out of 12 issues in. Issue 9 came today, unless some miraculous sales happen over the next 3 issues. I don't see it getting a second season. So hey, enjoy this one while you can.
Yeah.
And maybe some of these story threads will be picked up in other things. We know Malik is continuing, so maybe some of his other stuff will too.
Yeah. Unfortunate, but it is what it is. Hey man, listen, you win some and you lose some. You know what I'm saying?
Yep.
Priest has his fans. I've read a good chunk of that Destro book and I loved it. And I've read some other stuff that he's done too, and I had a good time with it. But yeah, Black Adam, maybe this wasn't it. But there's still a couple issues left, so maybe he could pick things up. But yeah, man, hey, it happens, bro. That's not a knock against Priest. His super crazy enough, people loving the fuck out of that Superman Lost issue #1. So much so that I said I don't care for it, but I went and picked it up anyways just to see what the fucking hype was about. So I'll give it a go. Priest, it's all right, bro. You still good in these streets. You still good. You still good. Yeah, Justice Society #2. Either that's a reprint or not surprising. People are just fucking fed up with the delays. So it is what it is at this point. But yeah, not much else to say here, unless you got something else to say about this stuff, AJ.
Nah, not too much. Just like you say, folks are fed up with Jeffrey's shit. Hey, read that Justice Society book and trade. Put it out your mind for now, and remember it months or if not years down the line when the trade finally releases, because that's one thing Jeff Johns is good for these days: a delay upon a delay upon a delay.
Yep. And to the defense, too. Hey, sometimes his shit hit hard in trade, bro. For
Oh,
me at least, it
absolutely,
hit
absolutely.
hard.
But
So,
I'm just, I'm giving up on him on a monthly basis.
absolutely, absolutely. 161, we got Sonic the Hedgehog 57. 162, we got Midnight Suns #5. 163, Monkey Prince 11. 164, MMPR TMNT #2, #1. 165, TMNT, The Armageddon Game #5. 166, Icon versus Hardware #1. 167,
God,
Miles Morales, Spider-Man #2. Okay, Miles, damn.
so that's all 3 of his issues so far
Shit.
on this list.
Okay. 168, Star Trek #4. 169, what's the furthest place from here #11. 170, Star Wars Dr. Afra 28. AJ, take it away.
Um, let us see here. Icon versus Hardware, #1, coming in at 166. That is not great. I'm starting to get the feeling that the only stuff from the milestone stuff that's gonna stick around is probably Static.
Uh-huh.
I may be wrong, but I'm not seeing it as of right now. Quality is not there on some of these titles. The sales aren't there, and yeah, it sucks to see, but it is what it is. This Miles Morales Spider-Man #2, that makes all 3 of Miles's currently released comics of this run has shown up in this top 200, and we aren't even all the way at the end yet. Y'all got
Uh-huh.
to put some respect on that boy's name. If anybody's doubting him, it's time to stop, guys.
Uh-huh.
Let us see here. What else? Not much. Like I say, get that Justice Society and trade. Because if you've got the patience to wait on that title to come out whenever it comes out, decides a new issue is coming out, more power to you. Uh, yeah, that's about it for this portion of the list.
Yeah, same man. Stop sleeping on Miles. That's all I gotta tell you. That's it. Let's move on. That's it. That's all I gotta say. 171, Spawn Scorch 14. 172, Harley Quinn, the animated series Legion of Bats, number 5. 173, Human Target, number 11. 174, X-Men 18. That's definitely a reprint. 175, Blood Tree, number 1. 176, Gargoyles, number, I said that wrong. Gargoyles, number 1, Fast Smile Edition. 177, MMPR 105. 178, Almighty, number 1. 179, Catwoman 51. Oh, I feel, did Catwoman get a reprint?
Must have. We've already seen 53
Oh shit!
on this list.
You know what? Maybe I might have to pick this up. Maybe. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
All right. And 180, Minor Threats number 4. I want to focus on MMPR because I've been on the stream talking about how I'm concerned for the series because we always see it so low on the sales list. But I have it on good authority. That Boom is happy with the MMPR sales. That's all I'm gonna say. The book is good, guys. I know I have permission to say this as I double checked it before to make sure I can say this on stream because I know again a couple people watch my streams and we've been worried about this one. Guys, we're good. There's some, we've seen the solicits for MMPR. There's a whole other series that's coming out, Ranger Academy. We got Draken that's coming back with his own team. So they're really going hard for the 30th anniversary for Power Rangers. So guys, we are good. All right. I have it on good authority. We are good. That's what I'm going to say. I have nothing else to say outside of that besides I might have to pick up Catwoman. Maybe she's doing something good over there. But what about you, AJ?
Yeah, I'm happy to hear that about information from you about Power Rangers. That's that's good to hear. I'm proud of that. I don't know if I can do that picking up the Catwoman, man. I know they will put out a couple thirst covers in the beginning of that run, trying to fool folks into buying it. Yeah, once you open the book up, it wasn't that great. Maybe it's doing better. Maybe it's doing better, but I don't know if I can do it. That Harley Quinn animated series book, yeah, that's about the third Harley Quinn book that has been really low on this list. I don't know. I'm starting to think maybe folks might be getting tired of the character. Maybe DC has finally overexposed her. Who knows?
Yeah.
Would be crazy, but crazier things have happened. Let's see. That's pretty much it.
Yeah, I feel like the only reason why we got the this Harley Quinn the animated series joint is because the first series sold pretty well. That spinoff sold well the first time around, so I figured DC decided, hey, let's give Homegirl another round or another go around, and it's like it's not panning out as much. But luckily enough, it's a mini, so maybe it'll read better in trade. So who knows? But yeah, I do want to give T Franklin her credit. I don't really care for her work, but I remember when we first started doing this, that first series was doing pretty good. So it wasn't like a top 50 book, but it was at least hovering in like that 100, like the top 100 percentile. So it's good. It's solid. But who knows? Hey, people probably fed up, bro. As Harley Quinn, I have a very bad suspicion about Harley Quinn. I feel like because they don't know what to do with Harley Quinn, she might be the next villain or anti-hero to be roped into an event, and then they're just gonna completely do something out of the park with them just so they can try to get some interest there, and it's not gonna go well. I could be wrong. Maybe DC learned from Lex Luthor and Deathstroke, or maybe not, but we'll see. Yeah. Let's move on to 181. Daredevil number 7. That's a reprint. 182. Lazarus Planet. We once were gods. That was one of the worst Lazarus Planet's one shots. Why the fuck did that get a second printing? But again, people buy what they buy, me included, so it makes sense. I did buy this too. Star Wars: The Nameless Terror #1, 184 Doctor Strange: Fall Sunrise #3, 185 Titans United Blood Pack #6, 186 TMNT Armageddon Game Alliance #4, 187 Batman Superman's World's Finest #1, number 11, 188 Rogue Sun #10, 189 Stranger Things from Hawkins #1, and 190 Exterminators #5. Yeah, not much to say here. Looks like a couple reprints. Good to see Rogue Sun on here. And as for the I think I mentioned it on the other stream that I did. I feel like the Massiverse books, I think they're fine because I don't think I feel like there's a low print count for them, and they're printing enough. So it's like enough people are just only subscribing to them and they're making some profit. So I feel like we don't have to worry about those books because if that's the case, we wouldn't be getting the spin-offs, and also Radiant Black wouldn't be going on for as long as it has been. So I think it's a low print count altogether, but that low print count, people are buying them. So it evens out.
Then, I mean, bro, you got to be ass for Image to cancel a book, bro. Like,
yeah,
you don't get too many cancellations from, and mostly because it's mostly creator owned stuff. I mean, I think it's pretty much all these days. And Radiant Black, they don't have Invincible anymore. As an ongoing. The Walking Dead, yeah, they got spinoffs and stuff, but they don't have that main series. Radiant Black gives them an entire, the Massiverse gives them an entire universe to play in. And the other thing is too, you don't have to be reading all of the titles to know what's going on in your specific book. So I feel like that's appealing to Image. And yeah, that's gonna be their next big thing. There been rumblings about with Higgins and then potentially trying to get an animated adaptation going within the next few years. So yeah, I think Image is going to keep investing in all of those series for a very long time.
Yeah, and the one that just came out, No One, that motherfucker went into second printing the first day it came out.
Yes, bro. And see, No One, like that one is so innovative because first off, you got the comic portion of it. Now that one is I think a limited series, but you got the comic portion, then you have the podcast, like kind of like true crime podcast that ties in. Then they're doing like AR, alternate reality, and all kind of tie-in stuff with that. And then you got big celebrities like Patton Oswalt, shit, Kimberly, Amy Jo Johnson, she's doing something with it.
Oh yeah.
I believe. So yeah, I the Image is allowing, well, some of it's Higgins' own money, but Image is also putting up resources. They are going all in on this universe. So yeah, I think they're going to be around for a long time.
Yeah, and good for Higgins, man. If I'm not mistaken, I know there was a little bit of that. How do I say this correctly? I think when he parted ways with Power Rangers, it wasn't on the best of terms, but maybe it was for the best because look at him thriving. But on the flip side too, I really wonder if Higgins stuck around with Power Rangers, what would have that been like? But on the flip side,
it kind of feels similar to with him at DC with Nightwing.
Yeah,
and things didn't go quite the way he wanted them to, so he was like, all right, I'm out. He goes to Power Rangers, quit an acclaimed run, fans, critics, because that was when I was most into them Power Rangers comics. I've been getting back into them over the past few months, but man, when he was on that title month, oh my goodness,
heat, bro.
So yeah,
Yeah,
and he finally just decided to branch out and to do his own thing, and looks like it's turning out to be pretty lucrative for him. So
yeah.
I if I was him, I would never go back to writing IPs for somebody else. Keep on building your universe, bro.
Exactly, man. And he has the brain for it. Like you can tell, like even when he wrote Power Rangers, boy, you can tell he's a fan, bro. He's a fan of this shit. He's a fan of
Yeah.
like the tokusatsu superhero shit, bro. Like you can tell that. And to see that flourish the way the Massiverse has, it's beautiful. And I
Hmm.
finally decided to pick up a second book from that universe. I'm reading Infernal Girl Red. Oh my God, bro, that's worth the
Yes,
money.
bro. Bro, you should have
Oh,
got in on the Kickstarter, man. That
I
that
should
hardcover
have.
they got. Oh, bro, that hardcover is beautiful, bro.
Oh, but I'll tell you right now though, like the floppy is beautiful too. The quality is
It is. It is.
pristine. It's a pretty little penny, but it's worth it,
Hmm.
bros. But I think if I could find the hardcover, I'll definitely double dip because it's a good series, bro. Very good. Um,
Absolutely.
Let's see here. Moving on to 191, we got Dark Web number one. That's probably a reprint. 192, Monarch number one. 193, Once Upon a Time at the End of the World number four. 194, Batman the Joker Deadly Duel number three. That's a reprint. 195, Black Cloak number two. 196, Deadpool number three. 197, Amazing Spider-Man 16. That's another shot. 198, Star Wars Darth Vader 30. 199, Art Brute number three, and 200 Punchline, the Gotham game number
Ooh, oh
four.
my lord, boy.
Hi, yi, 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 yi. Why?
Yeah, this gonna be last time. This gonna be the last time we see old Punchy for a while. After
Yo,
this run ends, goodness gracious, Lord.
yo, you know what? I gotta talk about this. I don't know if I mentioned on the last stream, but you know what they had the gall to put for the solicits for one of the upcoming issues? Maybe it was this one. Oh,
What's that?
best selling series.
Yeah,
Motherfucker,
I saw that. I
where?
was like, nah, bro. Like,
Where?
yeah, they kind of they playing themselves on that one. And like I said, man, I do think they're trying to kind of coax Tynan back into doing more with them, especially now that the word is on a lot of these substacks haven't been as lucrative as folks would have hoped. So I think they're trying to get him back over there, but nah, bro. Like we said, a lot of his characters were gonna flounder without him. I think, like I said, I think Ghostmaker is going to be his most successful one. I see him sticking around for years, but some of these others, man. And I thought Punchline was going to have longer staying power than what she has. Now, granted, Gotham Game is not a good book. I think is that Teeny Howard also?
That's Tina Howard.
Yeah. Yeah. It's not a good book, and she's also doing stuff that ties it in with her Catwoman run, which is also not a good book. So yeah, I don't know. If you want to read that, you have to read not one but two not good
Mm,
books, so that might be playing a part. But
mm,
yeah, man. Ghostmaker, like I say, keep him around. Old girl from Joker, Vengeance. She has a direct connection to Bane. You can keep her around, do some interesting stuff. A lot of these other characters, man, might be trying to put them out to pasture. Clown
yes.
Hunter, and maybe Punchline. We'll see. Maybe we give her one more shot somewhere else, but it might be time for her. Um,
Yeah.
yeah, it's not looking great for some of them, man.
And like I said before, they maybe, maybe with a different writer, this could work. But I think they've invested enough time, and maybe it's time. Oh, who knows? Maybe they coaxed Homeboy in, and we don't even know it yet.
Yeah, could
Because
be.
again,
Could be.
they've been sprinkling his characters in and out these books like crazy over the past couple of years. So we'll see. But yeah, it might be time to go. And also, softball, what's going on? Appreciate you popping in, man. We about to wrap up, but thank you. I appreciate the support as always. But yeah, so that's the top 200 for this month, guys. Good to see Miles still kicking ass. As for the other titles, that's still hovering in the top 50. Not surprising. But yeah, it's gonna be interesting to see what happens next month. Yeah, and like we mentioned before, Tim Drake didn't even chart, guys. It didn't chart. It's not here. So there's a reason why. Yeah, don't know what to tell you guys. But yeah, if you guys are watching the replay, please go catch up on the first 45 minutes is us talking about the Tim Drake cancellation and Batgirls, and the rest of it is us doing the top 200. We apologize. That conversation took a little bit too long, but it's a good conversation regardless, so I'm not mad at it. But yeah, man, thank you guys for checking out the content. AJ, as always, thank you for taking the time to come here on the stream.
No
and
problem, brother.
And yeah, guys, we'll be back tomorrow night. We are going to talk about Shazam because there's a lot that spun out of that release. So
he and Elvis will break down the movie. I'll just I'll talk shit as always.
oh yeah, it's going to be a good time. Elvis is going to let that chopper fly, man.
I'm certain. I am certain.
And we will too. We will, because again, even the news that spun out of it, there's still a lot for the three of us to discuss.
Oh yes.
So yeah, so please be sure to look out for that. Yeah, in the meantime, I will try to drop a video in between because I do have some things I do want to discuss. But if not, consider these two videos my content to make up for last week and this week as well. But yeah, guys, AJ, go ahead and plug yourself in, brother. I'll go ahead and throw your Twitter up here.
Yeah, as always, find me at Mr_Mitchell_ the number 2 _ the letter U on Twitter, giving hot takes about this comic shit. Talking about how my sports teams piss me off. And yeah, that's about it. You want to find me? You can find me there.
All right, and as always, you can find me on Twitter, Roliver Queen _ the vibes, booze, comic books, and pretty feet. And as always, you can go ahead and subscribe to the YouTube Roliver Queen reviews. Thank you guys. We have 522. The road to 600 is well on the way. I have a goal of by the time I hit my birthday in June. I'll hit 600. That's my goal. I think I could do it. I think I could do it.
Yeah, you could do that.
So yeah, please be sure to check out the content. Tune in. But yeah, guys, I gotta go cook. And I'm sure AJ gotta go handle some other business as well. Thank you guys for tuning in. It's your boy Roliver Queen. Got AJ here as well. We'll be back tomorrow night. Much love, much peace. It's your boy. Well, it's your homies, and we are out.